the love story between me and my boyfriend. Today it is a very highly requested video. The love story between me and my boyfriend.
Handsome boyfriend.
He is very private, so he's like this a little bit cut out. So today we're gonna be talking about how we met, since a lot of subscribers are very curious about, and I do feel like we have like interesting encounter. Do you think?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start. If you feel like there's something that you want to add in, then you can add your side of the story as well. We met in 2019 in July when I joined the new company. At that time it was a new company. Now I have left already. You were already working there?
Yeah, since 4 years, almost 5.
To be honest, when I joined the company, I was not really in the place to look for a relationship. I was actually at the end of my previous relationship. I was really sorting out like the whole thing. I was still living with my ex. I was trying to end the relationship. There was drama happening at that point. So I was in a very confused and also probably unsettling, would you say?
Unsettled, yeah. It was a moment of closure for you.
Even when I joined the company, I wasn't even sure if I'm going to close it.
Yeah, I think you were just about to make that decision.
So basically, and the drama happened the day before I joined the company. So when I joined the company, I was absolutely a mess. Absolutely. So I wouldn't say it is love at first sight, because I met you on the first day, but to me, really, it was just like a colleague. And how about you? What's your first impression of me?
You clearly have a beauty to lure and to attract, so I was very curious to know more about you. Yeah, although you had a more nerdy look at the beginning.
What nerdy look? I don't have a nerdy look. I wasn't even with my glasses.
Yeah, you had the glasses. I know, the first time, no. Uniform did not really give away a lot of like your true beauty. Is made to be like distracting, but I knew there was something more to discover there. But then I got, I think, more interested about your character after that.
Why? What happened?
I heard you were talking about something that was going on in your tasks, and you suddenly actually came up with a curse, so that you broke character with the kind of all polished, trying to make a good impression person. You just said, fucking this.
I think I remember, I think I was really struggling with the desktop that I had. It was just not working in a way that I would like it to. And then I just and then you were there, and then I was like, this fucking computer doesn't work. And then I didn't even realize that was the point when you got attracted.
I was like, there's more to this person than the surface, and of course, it's not like I like girls who curse, but it made me laugh because you were like all so polished, trying to like make a good impression the first week, and then you fucking this.
A true pay come peeking through. Yeah. So okay, interesting. Yeah, imagine like to tell people like, yeah, he got attracted to me because I say fucking computer. Like, so attractive anyway. And then there's one very interesting story to tell, really. So I guess after that happened,
yeah, I wanted to meet you like in a more personal way. I wanted to see that authentic self a bit better, understand like who's behind the polished facade.
He came to ask me when am I having my lunch. And then I didn't know. I like just genuinely I didn't know when would I be having my lunch, because I usually wait for my manager finished her lunch. So I think I said to you, oh, maybe a little bit later or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you were being very persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, okay, so exactly when? Like in half an hour or in an hour or in 45 minutes? I didn't know what to say, because I could feel that the eager that you would like to have lunch with me, and I didn't know what that was. I wasn't sure what that was. And as I said before, I was in a very messy and very confused stage of my life. And then I didn't know if I would like to get involved so quick. Like, I don't even know what I want really at that point. So when you were asking me out, I didn't know how should I see it. And then I just laughed.
She didn't respond, and she went like, and then looked the other way. And I was like, okay, that's this is one hard cookie, I guess.
No, because I didn't know what to say, so it was awkward for me. So I just laugh. I just like like that.
But then I don't get demoralized by these type of things.
Literally not at all. No, I laugh in his face. You went away for like 3 seconds, and then he came back. And that time when he was talking to me, there was like a wall there. So he was literally peeking out through the wall and say,
Let me know.
Let me know. Like, this guy doesn't give up. I was like, okay. I laugh again.
Yeah, it seemed like a comic, like a very comic moment, like in a cartoon. Let me know.
Let me know. I didn't let you know.
No, you didn't.
I just went. And then when I was going out to get some food, I bumped into you downstairs. So then we went to get lunch together and ended up having lunch together anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I guess if it's meant to be, it's gonna happen. Like, you can't run away from it, you can't avoid it. Yeah, so that's how we went on our first lunch, a slightly creepy invitation.
It's not creepy, come on, it was just very, persistent.
Ever since then, I'm pretty sure you decided not to ask me anymore.
Yeah, I'll just appear when you're having lunch upstairs. I know more or less the time, so I'm just gonna have lunch more or less at that time. Of course, cautious not to be intrusive. If I ever felt that I was actually being a pain, I would just move away. I felt like you also needed to have a bit of interaction, and it was helpful. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kind of insisted.
Yeah, I would say I enjoyed the conversation I was having with you, really. Because, as I said before, I was in a very, very messy stage. So I didn't even really tell any of my friends about what happened to me at that point. So I was basically going through all the drama on my own. Just the friends that I had at that time, I didn't feel like they would be helpful. So I really didn't tell anyone. But when I told you about my problem, and then you were, I would say, very genuine, on giving me advice and also giving me a lot of insights. I'm still very grateful for it, really. And it's not in the way that you're interested in me and you want to break me up, with my ex and all that kind of thing. Nothing like that.
That was already happening anyway, so...
Yeah, we were already breaking up, but then you were not putting into effort just to make sure that you've got a chance
I
there.
didn't have any agenda, I would say. No, I was actually purely interested in seeing if you needed any support, especially because I saw you a bit in a fragile state at that point, I think.
Yeah, it was not easy. So after we started chatting for about, let's say, 2 weeks, nothing really more. It was just chatting in the office, having lunch together, and yeah, the good vibe were, they were building up, were circulating. I think it was mutual from both sides. I think after 2 weeks, then you finally asked me out. Do you remember it's because of what?
I wanted to go to Hampstead. I remember that. I remember that occasion.
No, we didn't go to Hampstead as a.
No. Sorry, it was the matcha thing, because one day I had a matcha Kit Kats.
Yeah.
And because they were all in Mandarin and had all the right.
No, it was in Japanese.
In Japanese,
but anyway,
sorry.
yeah.
But I know it's a kind of very Asian type of snack, and I thought, there she goes. I actually gifted you one. You were very amazed by it.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I love matcha, and you just throw one chocolate to me in the middle of the lunch, and I was like, ooh! And then I was like, oh, matcha! And then it was I was excited about the matcha, and then you caught that kind of as a hint that I like matcha. You then, use that as an excuse to ask me.
Yes, for a matcha date.
Yes, for a matcha date. It was just about matcha. It was nothing to do with me. It was just two people like matcha, and we are just gonna go explore some more matcha in London. To be honest with you, I probably have never told you about this, but I was very impressed on the whole thing. It's you asked me out, and then I think you got my number already at that time, but we have never really chat.
No.
I mean, we have each other's number, but that was just it. On a Sunday morning, and you already text me, just to confirm that we are going out later, and then you gave me all these options of matcha place and saying I think we should meet in Liberty department store because that is close to most of the matcha place you found, and it would just be convenient and just easy. So we met up there, and for me it was very kind of different experience because usually when I met my previous boyfriends or some guys I went out for a date, usually you only hear back from people very, very last minute, or you actually had to reach out to them and in order to get some information about whether we are going to meet later on. But then you actually reassure me. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't know if that was happening, because I didn't know if that was just something that you said, randomly, and you forgot about it or blah blah blah. But then you text me, and then that just made me feel like, wow, this is slightly different than I had experienced before.
And I love to do my research when I actually engage in any project.
Yeah, that's so good. Like when you have a man like actually know his things and then just proactively make the thing happen, it feels so different. I hate guys when they ask me like, where do you want to go? Oh, really? Oh yeah.
What should we do? I don't
Should we go to Seoul? Where in Seoul you want to go? It's like
it's part of leading as well. At least give some options. If you don't want to decide for the other person, maybe.
If the guy has to ask you, where do you want to go? He probably doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah, in life in general.
And he wouldn't know what you want anyway, so stay away. So we went for the matcha place. It was all very good. The conversation was flowing and, we got along, we hit it off. And we've then decided to extend the date. So you proposed to go for a walk in Hampstead Heath?
Yes.
Yeah. Hampstead Heath is like a forest in the middle of London. Yeah. It's a beautiful area, but Hampstead Heath is a forest. Like, it's not just park. It's a forest. It's like a muddy, there are a lot of trees and...
It can get very wild.
It can be very messy. So, yeah, but it was a good place. Like, I like it, the energy of it, and then, the neighborhood and all that. It was very, very nice. And we started chatting, continue our chat in Hampstead Heath. It was very, very good. And we chat until quite late.
Yeah, it was almost dark when we are...
It was very dark. Considering it was summer, like, the sun only goes down around 9 o'clock. So probably we chat until 9. And then we wanted to find some place to eat dinner. But it was very difficult because it was Sunday, and Sunday everything kind of closed a little bit earlier. Yeah, so we couldn't find anywhere to have our dinner. So propose, right? You proposed to go to your place that you're gonna cook.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was like, he was like doing this. I was like, what? But I didn't go because I didn't want to. Not like I didn't want to eat. It's just simply because I didn't want to end it up in your place. It was very late, so possibly spend the night on the first date, basically.
That's fair enough. Although you missed out on some delicious Italian food, it's up to you.
Well, it's okay. If it's meant to be, I will eventually try that Italian food for myself. And in a matter of fact, it's not like I don't trust you. Yeah. I don't trust myself even. So how can I go to someone else's place and then when everything is going so smooth, obviously you want to have something more. I know, as an animal, the desire and the drive is there. But as a human with my rational mind, I don't want things to go again that way. Like with anyone else, very quick and then, didn't know what it is and you already...
You don't wanna torch the candle with a flamethrower. You want to just take your time.
Yeah, I just want to take it slow at that point. Were you disappointed?
Maybe at that right moment, I wanted to, as you say, there's a pull to actually try and make it happen because if there's a nice connection. But I respected the fact that you wanted to take your time.
And especially we work together. If it's gonna happen, I hope it is gonna be worth it. It's not just gonna be like a fling. It's not worth it to have a fling with your colleague. Yeah. It's not worth to have a one night stand with your colleague. If you're gonna do it with your colleague, you better make sure that it's something that's gonna last long. At least last until you leave the company. You know what I mean? So and I went back home and I remember it was not a very smooth journey because I live very far. At that time, I live in Woolwich, which is a zone 4, really, really far out, and not even a very nice area. And I remember because in order to reach Woolwich, I need to kind of take DLR, and DLR is very, very slow and not very frequent during the weekend. So I reached to Kennington, and then I was unable to get on the next train because they were all cancelled, and I had to take a cab in order to get home. So it would have been much easier if I just decided to stay over, but I chose the hard way and then it turned out to be worth it really. And then the next day we went back to work.
Yeah.
Was it awkward to see me at work, after we've spent the whole day together?
No, not really. I was just looking at you with a smile because I was starting to know you even better. So
Yeah.
that was really good. And also there was I think we both kept it very professional. You know, nothing really changed in our interaction at work.
Yeah.
It was work is work, and private life is private life.
Yeah, we didn't really go on the very intense kind of a date mode. Let's say it was all very kind of like slow in a way, but very, very gradually as well. And to be honest, I want to share like insights from my end. You've been telling me I can't depend my happiness on someone else. You know, my happiness has to be independent.
Yeah.
I can't just be happy because I've met someone. I can't just be happy because someone has texted me back. Things like that. I need to, you know, find my happiness within, internally, myself, in order to then have the happiness double or triple when I actually hang out with the right person. When you first told me, I didn't really quite get it, but after we went out and then, you know, start having that interaction, and I start getting, you know, I would say slightly attached, but not so much, but slightly like I care for you in a way. And I realized I was doing kind of the old habit. I was like checking my text. Why were you not texting me? I was checking if you were online on WhatsApp, and then, you know, imagine who would you be chatting with, or like, you know, why you didn't ask me out? Who are you gonna go have lunch with? Why you didn't ask me out for lunch, as if we've just only been out once and I'm already expecting so much from you. And I think that was the point when I realized I'm doing this again. If they don't text me, I got extremely disappointed, or I got really, really saddened by it. But when they text me, even it's just a hi, how you doing? I'm like all over the moon. I'm like so happy. But for what? Like really, it's just so silly because I depend my happiness on them.
Yeah, you
And
basically
then,
you put externally the source of your happiness and joy. Instead, that is a recipe for defeat.
If that person appear, then you are happy. If that person never reach out to you, you are already sad. And it's like you give the control to someone else, and that's a very dangerous thing. I've noticed I was doing that again to you, basically. And this is the first time when I could recognize that, when I could see what I was doing. And that was very, very interesting. Because before I was probably doing it unconsciously, but this time I could see it and I could recognize it. That's why when I picked that up, I then told myself, like, this is exactly what you were telling me. Like, I can't depend my happiness on someone else. I need to work on myself. I need to focus internally. I need to find first what will make me happy. I need to have a hobby. I need to, you know, hang out with my friends and, you know, just do things that would make me happy. I know I like doing yoga, so I decided to go to yoga place every Wednesdays. Like, and that's not negotiable. I'm just going to do my yoga on a Wednesday and just enjoy that 1.5 hours and then feel calm and satisfied back home. That's what I'm going to do because that makes me happy. And I hang out with my friends. I ask my friend out. I stop just staying at home waiting for someone to text me. I start expanding my life out. And then the funny thing is, I realize when I start doing that, and then you then start asking me out again. Like, it was not like you were not asking me out, but ever since I decided that, it was just a matter of a couple of days, really. And then I feel like somehow, in a way, I probably then became more attractive to you.
Yes, and I can explain why. At that point, I was really looking to for people who are not needy and dependent as well, because I was actually going that direction as well. I was what I was telling you regarding happiness, I was practicing on myself as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be that way either. When you're actually with a very needy dependent person, you become needy and dependent as well. It becomes a codependent relationship, and it's something that doesn't work. I've been there many times.
Yeah.
So when I saw you were getting more independent, they said, okay, then there's grounds, there's a good base to actually know each other more even.
And yeah, and I think this is very important for all the girls out there. This is the change that I made in this relationship, and you know, it turns out to be well. That's exactly what I needed to do, really. Otherwise, I would just repeat the same thing with my ex. I would just be needy, being dependent, and you feel like you got control over me because you can see that I was needy, so you could actually easily manipulate that. So I guess that's how we met.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the story of how we met, and I've promised you guys I'm gonna do a Q&A as well. So after you watch this video, you can, think of, is there any question you would like to ask me, or if there's anything you're curious, and I'm gonna start a Q&A on Instagram as well, so you can go there and pop into your questions, and we're gonna do a Q&A probably in a month's time. I don't know anyway, just
Whenever it's fine.
I hope you guys enjoy the story, and thank you so much for joining me. Even though still without your head, it's fine.
Headless.
Hopefully one day my boyfriend will feel comfortable showing his face on my channel, but for the time being, that's just be mystery then.
Exactly. I like the mystery.
Thank you for your time up until here, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next time.
Bye.
Ciao.